The first time I saw him, it was through the blinds. Just a sliver of him, hauling a box labeled kitchen up the walkway. He was new. An unfamiliar shape in the familiar landscape of my quiet suburban street. His name, I learned later from a misdelivered package, was Chad. He had kind eyes and a smile that seemed a little too wide, a little too eager. At first, it was just neighborly waves, a polite nod as he fumbled for his keys. But then, the little things started. A single red rose left on my doorstep. A note tucked under my windshield wiper. Thinking of you, Mona. My name scrawled in an unsteady hand. It was sweet, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. But it felt heavy. Then the packages began arriving. Not for him, for me. Things I'd never ordered. A first edition of my favorite book. A vintage record player, the exact one I'd mentioned to my friend on the phone last week. How did he know? The coincidence was too sharp, too specific. I started seeing him everywhere. At the grocery store, he'd be in the next aisle, pretending to inspect a can of beans. At the park where I run, he'd be sitting on a bench, head buried in a book, but I could feel his eyes on me. That easy smile of his started to look less like kindness and more like a warning. My home, my sanctuary, began to feel like a cage with the zookeeper living right next door. I started documenting everything. Photos of his car parked just a little too close to my driveway. Screenshots of his new social media account that had only one friend, me. I even bought a new set of locks, the heavy-duty kind. My friends told me I was overreacting. He just has a crush on you, they'd say. It's harmless. But it didn't feel harmless. It felt like a slow, creeping invasion. The air in my own house felt thick with his presence. I'd jump at every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of leaves outside my window. Was that him? Was he watching me right now? The fear was a constant low hum in the back of my mind. One evening, the power went out. The whole block was plunged into a sudden deep darkness. My heart hammered against my ribs. And then, a knock. A slow, deliberate rap on my front door. I froze, holding my breath. It came again, louder this time. I crept to the peephole. It was him. Chad. He was just standing there on my porch, silhouetted by the moonlight, holding a single lit candle. His face was unreadable in the flickering light. Mona? He called out, his voice soft, but it echoed in the silence. I know you're in there. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. That was it. The final thread of my patience snapped. This had to end. Tonight. I opened the door, a manufactured smile plastered on my face. Chad, you scared me. Come in. Come in. He looked surprised, but relieved. He stepped inside, the candlelight casting long, dancing shadows on the walls. I'm sorry, he started. I just worry about you. I feel like we have this connection. He set the candle down on the coffee table. I just wanted to give you this, he said, pulling a small, clumsily wrapped box from his pocket. I took it, my fingers brushing against his. They were cold. You shouldn't have, I murmured, my voice a low purr. He was so close now. The scent of his cheap cologne, the sound of his nervous breathing. He was exactly where I wanted him. He looked around my living room. His eyes landed on the wall behind the sofa. It was covered in photos. Not of friends, not of family. Photos of him moving in, him at the grocery store. Him sleeping in his bedroom, taken with a long-lens camera from my own window. His smile faltered, confusion clouding his features. He looked from the photos to me, his brow furrowed. What ? What is this? He stammered. I smiled, a genuine one this time. It's my collection, I said, my voice dropping to a whisper. I've been waiting for you, Chad. For a very long time. His eyes widened in terror. He finally saw it. Not the harmless neighbor, not the shy girl from next door. He saw the truth. The fear I'd been pretending to feel was just a mirror of what he was feeling now. That little box he gave me? I let it fall to the floor. Inside was a simple silver locket. Pathetic. He scrambled backward, tripping over the rug. You're crazy, he whispered, his voice trembling. I laughed, a sound that didn't seem to belong to me. "Oh, Chad," I said, taking a slow step towards him. "You have no idea." He tried to get to the door, but he was clumsy with fear. The new lock I installed wasn't to keep him out. It was to keep him in. You see, people always underestimate the quiet ones. They see a single woman living alone and they see a victim. A target. They never suspect that the spider is the one who builds the beautiful, inviting web. He thought he was the hunter, that he was closing in on his prize. The poor, sweet man. He never even realized he was the one being lured into the trap. Every note, every gift, every coincidental meeting. It was all me. I planted the notes. I hacked his accounts to order the gifts. I followed him. I created the perfect little narrative of a stalker, and he played his part so beautifully. I needed him to think it was his idea. I needed him to come to me. And now he's here, in my home, in my collection. The front door clicked shut, the deadbolt sliding home with a satisfying thud. The candle on the table flickered one last time, and then went out. Complete darkness. The last thing you hear is my voice, a soft, happy sigh in the pitch black. Welcome home, Chad. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more chills.